The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, callers, and advisors on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights reserved.
Coming up tonight, a frustrated business owner is echoing the sentiments of business owners across the country. They're all questioning Inland Revenue's new business policy. Also tonight, a 70-year-old man is nursing injuries after he was attacked by a pack of dogs. We have his story. And former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says Energy Minister JoBeth Colby Davis is not to blame for the summer of power outages. We'll hear who he feels should bear the blame. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Business owners across the Bahamas say they're being blindsided by Inland Revenue's new business license policy, warning the changes are creating confusion, delays, and added costs at a time when many businesses are already under pressure. Tonight, why are business owners calling for the policy to be reviewed? And what is Inland Revenue's response? Influencer and businessman, popularly known as G Money, joins me this evening. It's good to have you here, Mr. Garvin Dawkins. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Great to have you here this evening.
Thanks for having me.
You've been very vocal, and it's not for the first time either, about this new policy, this new business policy by Inland Revenue. What is the issue exactly, and how are you being directly impacted right now?
Well, one of the things, they have so much new requirements. One of them is they said to us that we need an architectural plan. They're saying that in order to receive the license, you would need to get an architect. It's the same building I was in for the last 4.5 years, 5 years. Same building. Getting the license every single year, on time.
Being approved.
Being approved every single year for the last almost 5 years until 2026. In February, I spoke to some person at Inland Revenue just trying to get my license renewed. And it was a multiplicity of things we had to get done before we even get to the architectural plan of it.
What do you mean by architectural plan?
You would need an architecture to draw up a plan of the building, and that's running into the thousands of dollars in itself, because if you get an architecture to draw up a plan for the building, that's a fee.
You bet.
That's somebody else. We paying somebody else. But this is the same place, Fish Fry, where we didn't have to do that. They just grant us permission to build. Granted, we appreciate all that they have done, but you put us there. And so you know the conditions you put us in. And so we had to struggle to make ends meet, even to create a business. No water, no power, no bathroom, other than the one way across the road. And these are the conditions we have to strive in.
What do you mean no water, no power?
No electricity.
Yes.
Period.
You all have to, you run a generator?
Yeah.
Today, to this day?
For 25 years.
On Fish Fry, Arawa Key,
Yeah.
it's run on generator?
On the eastern side. There's two sides of Fish Fry. There's a part that agriculture is responsible for, and then the other side is for beaches and parks.
What?
It's two sides.
Yes. Okay.
It's a western side, it's the eastern side.
Right.
Agriculture is responsible for one side, or the office of the Prime Minister, and then the other side is responsible, beach and parks, responsible for the other side.
And even considering those circumstances, you were given, and others, were given business licenses each year up to this year.
Yeah.
So the water, the electricity, they were not a concern?
Nothing. Not even, at one point, we had some blockage, which was environmental health, and the government facilitates that because all of the trash and those other stuff, the government subsidized all of the disposable, the oil with the grease trap, they just recently, Jomo Campbell Minister just recently installed a grease trap out there to secure so it don't, the grease, once you put the grease in that bin in the back, it don't spread all over the back and it don't get in the water to contaminate the water. So they did that, and they have dumpsters all in the back there, and it's crazy. It really is. It's
now
crazy.
let's get back to this new dictate in that every business owner, whether they be on at Fish Fry, at Arawaki, or anywhere else in the nation, must have architectural drawings. That is a setback. Now, I have heard from others that the liquor license is a part of this. Did you once enjoy the benefit of having a liquor license?
Yes. Mind you, I still do, you know.
You still have one?
I still do.
So you passed that part of the test?
Right, and that's one part of it. I passed the part of it from the police force, because we get that liquor license from the police.
That's real strange, because I've heard people in Eleuthera, Exuma, just those, and I know there are others, but those are the ones who reached out to this show, speaking of the very same thing that you're talking about tonight, that liquor license has become an issue. But what else is going on with these requirements? Because I saw a video where a gentleman was saying he has to now go 5 or more different places, meaning government agencies, to meet this new requirement. And still, when he figure he has it all in hand, he is still turned around again.
Okay, several things. One is environmental health. The other one is town planning. The other one is, well, the Ministry of Works have several entities where you got to go to for approval for, yes, it's like about 3 or 4 different places in the Ministry of Works before you even get to inland revenue. It's more bureaucracy and red tape than you could imagine.
But what happened to the ease of doing business?
That gone long time.
Let's talk about the impact. I was told just this morning by business owners who own bars and restaurants on Exuma, for example, that they are really having a tough time because, you know, the police at any moment can shut them down because they don't have the various licenses, I imagine, to be able to operate. How are you being impacted, or even persons just around you and people you know of?
In all fairness, I am not totally out, because Fish Fry comes under an umbrella where the government kind of make sure we have what we need to survive in that area. So we're not totally out, but it's the licenses, the liquor license, we go to the police to get that. Well, most bars and restaurants, they go to you got to go to the police, you got to go to the street, you got to go to the barracks, and you got to apply, and then they come to the inspection, and then now, even though they grant you and they say yes, that's not the final approval.
Right.
You still have to take all these documentation back, and if you don't have these documentation to take in the inland revenue, you can't pass that to get the license.
Now, G-Money, this is what I want to ask you. How is this impacting, whether it's on Fish Fry, at Arawaki, whether it's somewhere over the hill, whether it's on a family island? What are you hearing from business owners, small business owners, who have been speaking out for a few months now about this, but obviously their voices are getting louder?
For almost a year now. The tragedy in this whole new policy, what was implemented, was where the bar owners, and it's getting worse, because now they had to restructure and remodel the infrastructure within their building. And and this is going to come back. This is going to come back dangerous when it comes time to, let's say some young person decides that they back against the wall and they need something. Those businesses are vulnerable to crime.
What makes them vulnerable?
They're too exposed. They're too exposed.
So there's a new layout requirement.
Yes, floor plan, and then you have the floor plan as well too.
Floor plan.
You the floor plan as well. It's a totally, I don't know what they are trying to do, but I don't see the sense in it.
Was there consultation? What was there meetings with business owners ahead of this? Because everyone, again, I use the word blindsided. Do you feel as though that is what happened?
And to my knowledge, I think so, because I'm in the business world along with a lot of owners, and we've been having this conversation now for almost 7 or 8 months. And no one, they was afraid to say something because they didn't want to be blacklisted. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be where you are a Bahamian and you are doing business in the country and there's something that's not right for your business, and if you speak out, you're afraid. I'm not saying that they will be blacklisted. They are afraid because they think that they will. Just the perception of thinking something like that is catastrophic for me. Why would I be unfair or feel unfair if I speak out on something that's wrongfully done to me for my business? I should be able to speak. And no one should get thin-skinned and feel no type of way. We're Bahamians. This is our country. We have no place else to go. And you can imagine you put a business owner in a position like they did. It's wrong. It's all the way wrong. And as I speak for the people, okay, I take it upon myself to put my voice there to say this is all wrong. This is wrong. You costing business owners thousands of dollars just to remodel their business to accommodate what the government says or inland revenue. It don't make no sense. I can't, for the love of God, understand why, without even consulting or sitting down and talking with the business community.
Now, small business owners, small, I imagine medium-sized as well, feel as though they are the ones who are really feeling they're being squeezed by these new requirements. Would you say so?
Yes. I have 5 friends in particular right now, right in Baintown alone, who own liquor stores and bars. 5. And I only stopped the 5 because it's more, right? And none have their license yet. None. This is June.
And how long have they been trying to get this license? How long have they been trying to go around and wherever it is?
In February, a lot of business owners got notification of this new in February. We got wind of it. I got wind of it prior to that. But it really started circulating around in February. And so everyone rushed to try to. And then they just put a pause on it. And then it came back. And some business owners didn't make the money to spend $18,000 to renovate the entire. Yeah, man.
So they're having to, just to be considered,
Yes.
they're having to go make some renovations first.
Yeah.
And as you said, new floor plans and all the rest of
Yes.
it. Now, what do you think is because someone may say, G Money, you all slow up a little bit. This is inland revenue trying to bring businesses and order and structure to the Bahamas, because after all, it's been almost allowed to just happen and people just feel as though they can do anything and move forward. No, this is where you're trying to bring some kind of structure in place. What do you say about that? Because how do you respond to that versus what's really being done?
Here's how I see it. If you are trying to get a certain set of people within line, remember now, you created the monsters that are out there now. So if you're trying to get a set of certain people in line, deal with them.
Who is the set of people you think that
they're out there.
is the target of these
They're
new
out
policies?
there. I don't want to call the names, but they're out there.
Yeah.
And they know, and I feel
But
personally.
are those people open and selling liquor and open for business every day?
Man, they even got grocery shop. And with the liquor. What are you talking about?
With the liquor in the grocery store?
Yeah, I mean, what?
And they are licensed? How have they been able to get by so quickly and get that done?
For some reason or the other, this country, we find loopholes to get things done. I don't know how they do it, but we find ways to get it done. Trust me on that. We do find ways to get it done. And I want to say this too. No one, whether in government or in agencies or in ministries, should tell a business owner or even imply to a business owner, in order for you to get this, you have to do this my way. I do my business based off my specifications and liking, so that I can make sure I can protect my inventory, my staff, my property.
But don't you, as a business owner and as a part of a society, don't you have to kind of operate by certain rules and guidelines?
And mind you, I kind of see where they're going with it, but the approach with it and the implementation of it is all wrong. I'm not saying that we don't need to revamp and get it together, but the approach and the way it's been done. What I've said personally, new business should have been affected, not old business. You should have found a way to,
or at least give those established businesses already some sort of window to get it right.
Not only that, if you can do that, and then you can cost me $18,000, $19,000, $20,000 in renovations, I need some money. Because now, in order for me to get what you want me to have, I got to go spend money to get it.
You mentioned several friends who own bars and the like in certain areas, and that they don't have their license, and not for lack of trying. How are they making it? Are they losing money? Are they operating, Well,
the good thing about it is the police is not harassing them. So that's a good thing. They're operating every day. At a risk, yeah, because you don't know when they're going to come and do anything. But I'm saying at least the police is not harassing the establishments. Like, they're not going around and say, where's your papers, where's this? They're not doing that. So that's a good thing. And so everyone feel kind of comfortable or somewhat of relaxed to the point that we don't have to worry about being shut down. So they're making their money, they're operating, but on the edge, like any day now.
Any day the police can show up and shut them down.
And what I think Inland Revenue should have done was send or give them a piece of document to say that if, because you are in this process of getting the license, and this is June, I don't know why we're still trying to get license in June. We're almost in 2027. We should have gotten these licenses from in March, the latest. Nevertheless, they should have given bar owners and business owners a piece of document to say, listen, we know that, so when the police do come, you can present the police or whoever comes to say, you're not legit to be open, but here's what you could give to them in the event that they do come, just to take the burden and the fear of you closing or being shut down from them. And none of this has happened. Nothing. Just everyone is just up in the air. Up in there, just waiting for something to...
It is really something, I'm telling you, this is something that even because it's been brought to my attention for a few months now, I have been following it. I want to read something to you. One of our viewers said, there was one consultation in October 2025. It was one-sided. The liquor license now requires, are you listening? The liquor license now requires an approval from Physical Planning, DEHS, Department of Health and Environmental Services, BASFA, you have to pay $50, and on the Family Islands, there is no BASFA presence, but you still have to pay for an inspection that never gets done. That's fraud. Then you must have the Royal Bahamas Police Force Fire come and inspect, the Royal Bahamas Police Force for liquor, the Ministry of Works also involved. Plus you need plus you need to present your original tax registration form. If you're an existing business, you need to get approval again from Physical Planning. When you do all of this, you still have to wait 30 days for public consultation, which you are not notified of. Then, Inland Revenue takes up until now, for many people, to approve because they also must do an inspection. It's a very complicated process, and several people have lost their licenses.
Yeah.
Do you know of this?
Yeah.
Do you know of some people who've lost their licenses?
2.
Why did they lose it? Because they couldn't.
They can fulfill all the commitments of trying to do requirements of getting these things done. They couldn't do it.
Now you heard me read all that right there. Is that fair? You feel?
No, I had to hire someone to do it.
No, but I don't blame
I
you.
literally had to hire someone, and that's, you got to pay for that
course.
service. I had to hire someone to do my paperwork because it was so tedious.
Exactly.
It really is like so much going on by the ice. I don't know how, and I have a small business. My business is small. You can imagine big business.
What do you want? Look right in this camera right there. What do you want to say to authorities at Inland Revenue, wherever, in terms of coming back to the table and trying to find a middle ground with this?
Revamp the entire thing. Start over. Get back to 2021, 2022. Revamp the entire thing. Start over, because the people, the business community out there, they crying and they crying loud, and they are afraid to talk because they don't want to be blacklisted. It's not fair. It's all wrong. All wrong.
Another viewer just said, Shanique, it is very frustrating. Very frustrating. And so many people agree with you tonight and what you're saying. I thank you very much. G Money, of course, he is officially Garvin Dawkins. Thank you very, very much. I hope that, listen, come back and let's continue to keep this out front.
Sure.
But I hope certainly something happens that brings some relief and then sort of some direction for the way ahead for business owners here in the Bahamas, around the Bahamas. Thank you once again for being here this evening. Don't go anywhere. When I come back, the Hot Topics panel joins me and they give opinions on this and other stories. It's straight ahead on Beyond the Headlines.
Hey, it's your boy Charlie Bahama here at Superwash, Superwash's newest spokesmodel. And I'm here to tell you about Superwash's large capacity washers and dryers for all your big loads.
I know I see that Charlie Banana coming here just now.
Uh-oh, luckily it's also big enough for me to hide it.
I thought he was right over here where these large capacity washer and dryers is. They're big enough now to handle your big loads, you know. Yeah, like your comfort on your blanket. But just look at those. Somebody forget to turn on the dryer. Oh, stop! Help! You hear something? Yeah, that's the sound of clean. Superwash washes you, processes you, and entertains you 24/7.
Did you know that when you shop at cbsbahamas.com, you can see directly into our vendors' warehouses? What that means is even if we only have a dozen of an item available in store, you can order virtually as many as you want directly from our vendors and have it delivered to your doorstep in just 10 to 14 days. You don't have to worry about shipping, imports, duties, or any of the hard stuff. Our back order program is unique, and it's only at cbsbahamas.com.
This year, Island Luck Sportsbook sent one of their very own customers all the way to San Antonio to watch Game 5 of the NBA Finals. The Knicks closed it out right then and there. No Game 6, no Game 7. Our customer was sitting in that arena the night the championship was decided. That's the kind of luck we talking about at Island Luck Sportsbook. Winners live here. Must be 18 and over. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so please game responsibly.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's great to have you all join in this evening. I tell you, that matter at the top of tonight's show is something that's brewing and something that so many have been angry and vexed about and calling for it to be addressed. Now that I've been aware for a couple of months, but as you heard, it's been since really earlier this year that's happened. And we're going to continue to follow that and see what happens. And, you know, something needs to be done. In fact, the Hot Topics panel, I'm sure, have some views on it. I'm going to bring them in right now. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines and good evening to you, gentlemen. Leslie Miller, Ellington Ferguson, and Howard Johnson. Good evening to each of you.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Thank you for having me once again.
Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening once again. Gentlemen, you heard this small business owner who was here a moment ago, G Money, Garvin Dawkins. You heard him speak, but he is not alone. He came this evening and he gave voice to what many are saying, how they are feeling, how they're being impacted. Your thoughts about the and you heard me read the string of requirements. Howard, I don't know if any Fortune 500 company in the U.S. Have to meet these requirements, but you heard me read a list of requirements for now these businesses to operate lawfully. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Well, certainly, Shanique, we've got to really be careful what we do to small businesses here in this country. We've had talks over the years, people talking about the importance of small business to an economy. We've had a number of persons that have been championing the cause. One such gentleman had come to mind, Mr. Mark Turnquest, the Chamber of Commerce, and others has been championing the cause of small businesses. I think sometimes these institutions, these government institutions, got to understand the same hammer that you bring down on multi-million, even billion-dollar business. You cannot deal with small, fragile businesses, small business owners in the same way. We've got to be deliberate about assisting and putting systems in place that we can help small business to grow rather than crush them. I mean, everything in this country seems to work against the strengthening and building of small business. What are we thinking? I mean, from you hear the gentleman talk about the licensing. We got the banking institution don't even check. I went through an ordeal with one of them in the last 2 weeks. It's just crazy. It's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Shanique, well, listening to G Money talking about this stuff was just hair-raising, right? We do know that in most countries in the Western world, small businesses represent the backbone of those economies, right, in those countries. And so it's just harrowing to hear him talk about the tedious and cumbersome processes. So there are several things that need to be done to try and rectify in the short term. I know we have this Ministry of Innovation and National Development. That's going to take some time for them to deploy technology to help all of these processes. And so in the meantime, we need to try and do some simple things to clear up some of the inefficiencies. And one of the first things that we know we badly need in the Bahamas is the automatic sharing of data, right? A tell us once framework. We have too many different government agencies that G-Money said you have to go to, and you have to take the same paperwork over and over again from you submit your initial application and even for your renewals. So if we connect these agency databases and you go to one and you submit your paperwork the first time, why can't these other agencies in the government that you have to go to connect with each other, their databases, so that you can simply have your information verified and you can be on your merry way? And then I saw you read out the checklist. Sometimes people don't know. If you're reading out the checklist, we need to make these checklists more easily accessible. And what do I mean by that? We need to make sure that in public spaces, we put these checklists up. They need to be clear, concise, and very simple, where people can see what you need to do. You take your phone, you take a photo, you can ask for a physical copy. And then for those people who are already business persons and gonna have to renew, we have their contact information like emails. Why aren't we sending out these things via email in digital form to these people so that they can know what they have to bring to these government agencies or upload into the system?
Absolutely.
And then they don't have to worry about having these problems of their applications and stuff being rejected. And finally, quickly, mobile pop-up units. I know they've been done with a few things in the Bahamas before, but we need to deploy them in local communities in Nassau and Grand Bahama, and even in the family islands like Eleuthera and Andros and them. These pop-up units that will help people process their paperwork, get themselves verified, and reduce some of the inefficiencies and backlogs.
You know, we've had this problem with Aviation now for the past 30 years or longer. When I was Minister of Trade and Industry, it came under the ambit of Trade and Ministry. And the problems that we had was complaints by the tourists that many of them were not up to standards physically, as far as toiletry and the like. There were problems there. But the greatest problem we had with most of the vendors there, they were like 10 years behind with paying the government leases. They didn't give a damn about paying the leases. And when you go and ask for the lease, that's when all of them come together and raise hell with everything else. And it goes by. Today, it is estimated that roughly 70% of the stalls that then are controlled and operated by Haitians. Payments have sell them off or given Haitians licenses.
But Leslie,
this
isn't only this new business license requirement doesn't only affect
I don't think it's as great as they are.
I'm telling you, I have heard from Eleuthera, Exuma, and elsewhere about the requirements for business licenses now.
Well, business license has always been a tenuous thing, but as far as the structure itself, you go to Ministry of Works would look at it and make sure the building is structurally sound. They then send it down to environmental health. It stays there for about a day or two. In fact, I'm going through such a situation right now. For a day or two, and then they stamp it, you send it back to the ministry. Then, of course, you have to pay the fees, the relevant fees that's associated with your structure. But Aviation has always been a problematic situation there because most of them have not paid the government their lease rents in so long. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that have not been paid. And the minute you get down on the fellow say you got to do X, Y, Z, all hell break loose. So I wish all of them luck. You see new structures going up now. The guys who got burned down, a few months, they're now putting up blocks structure instead of wood. Again, those properties, the property there is property for government of Bahamas, owned by the Bahamian people. And as they become more efficient in what they're doing, and the value of the property is going to increase, therefore they could look to see their license and their fees also increase.
Which is good. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
But it's always been a problem.
What this
it's a
matter
headache,
is,
really.
again, Arawaki
It's a
is its
headache.
own thing. I could discuss that
But
separately.
Bahamians need to get
This-
back into the business instead of
This,
taking the
this,
easy way
this,
out.
Leslie, has to
and
do
leasing
with
it to
people
the
who
Haitians.
own restaurants,
Yes.
bars,
Yeah, it's a little tough.
persons on Arawaki, wherever they are,
Those who
are
do it right
complaining
normally
about
don't have
the-
a problem.
Listen to me,
And-
Leslie.
and
People
follow
have
the
been
rules.
Not
people have been
necessarily.
complaining now for many months, and I'm talking from on Eleuthera. Just this morning, I just became aware of Exuma, and I'm talking several of them. This isn't just about the
But
the
you will
vendors
find
at
that many of
Arawaki.
those whose rents are up to date, who pays the government on time and what have you, or anywhere near where they should pay, they don't have a problem. The government caters to
But
them.
Leslie, like she's
but
saying,
the other fellas raise hell.
you're restricting
Leslie's
your argument
focusing
to those
on
units
Arawaki.
out there.
Yeah.
But this is far
This
wider
isn't
than
nothing to
just
do with
fish
Yeah,
fry
this is really
and
nothing
those
to do with
units
fish
out
fry.
there.
There's two sides to the
Yeah,
story.
no, but this isn't about fish
No,
fry.
It's
About
across
business
the-
owners.
You know, well, listen,
Business owners.
we formed the Light Industries Development Council in 1983. And the biggest problem for any small business in this country is that Bahamians are never going to support you the way they should. That's our failures of black people. And you can look at our country, look at the economics for our country. The white fellas still control about 80% of the commerce in this country. Because blacks are never going to go to blacks and support them. That has been my thing with going into light manufacturing. I advise no Bahamian to do it or go into small business. They're going to run you out of business. The government entities themselves don't support you. We don't support each other. Whereas our white brothers make it a point to support their white brothers. We don't.
Well, then you
If a
got-
fella's
but
hurt,
you
the
also
first
got
thing the
to
guy
have
call and
businesses
say,
that people are
this fella
interested
hurt,
in
make
supporting.
sure he don't get up again.
Yeah.
The other fellas get together, pitch in, give the fellas some money, and keep them in business. That's our problem with the people. We don't support each other.
Here's one of the viewers says, DIR, Department of Inland Revenue, should be an agency that is promoting small business ownership, and their attitude should be that of assisting them with putting in the right measures to regularize the business. Instead, they come to find out very thing that's possible to discredit a business. So this is what this person is saying they're looking
Listen,
for. They come
right
with the
now, the
police,
small
they come with
business-
guns
yeah.
and bad attitudes,
Yeah.
not to assist
The
the
small business
owner
development
and
unit,
to
right?
shut them down.
Brags that they've given out over $100 million in loans. 85% are bad loans because they don't get the support from the government agencies. And they got to go back, they never can pay their loans. And some people put up their houses on other collateral, on their personal collateral to get the loan, and they end up bankrupt. I've seen it happen over the last 50 years. It's a dangerous thing to go into this country in business.
Let me tell
Very
you this,
dangerous.
Shanique, I have found out that there are a lot of things, and it's very unfortunate. There are a lot of things that are benefits that are available to small businesses, but it's kept almost like in a secret book. And if you find out and you apply for it, you basically never get it.
Well, you
So
listen.
a lot of the benefits, even for companies that are small businesses that end up having to do VAT, charge VAT, there are benefits that they try to get that is supposed to come to them that that is like pulling
And
your
that
teeth
makes
together.
no sense.
It makes no sense, Howard. You're correct.
Yeah. So again, this is
It's
something
very difficult
that
to run a
is-
small business in this country. I'll tell you that.
I imagine so.
Extremely
and then,
difficult.
And then these
Most of them
requirements
fail.
are
70%
just something
fail.
totally different. Again, I've heard people for months now bring it to my attention, hoping to have it discussed. But I like when somebody who is impacted directly shows up and give voice to it so that you understand it better. Meanwhile, gentlemen, the impact of the Independence Day plane crash still fresh in the minds of many residents who say their confidence in small aircraft travel has been shaken. Daniel Dean picks up the story from here.
I feel safe with the smaller airlines. I mean, I'm sure there's room for improvement when it comes to safety, but as long as we have them get their regular checkups when they're supposed to, then I think we'll be fine.
Well, it's been 10 days since that tragic crash, and some Bahamians are recalling the reason they say in the aftermath why they don't opt to fly on smaller planes.
Just the fact that it's so crammed up, I prefer to be on the larger. I know that the same thing can happen on a larger plane, just as a small plane, but for me, personally, I would prefer to be on a larger aircraft.
We tend to not the rules and regulations sort of go to the wayside, and we look at profit margins more than anything else.
Not all hope is lost, though. This resident is not completely closed to the idea of traveling on smaller aircraft. He'd only need reassurance that carriers and pilots are not only certified, but compliant with aviation policies.
Any plane could crash if they don't get the proper maintenance, you know, whether it's a big airline like Bahamas Air or any other, even American Airlines. So it's just proper checks that they need, and I think we'll be fine.
Make sure you have the right amount of passenger on it and don't let it overcrowded for it to cause any issues, because for so many lives that went down, it's very sad.
These concerns come amid an ongoing investigation into the Independence Day Flamingo Air crash involving a Cessna 402 aircraft. The nation has expressed frustration with the airline's ability to function up until the time its operations were suspended, given what seemed to be frequent violations of aviation standards. Other smaller airlines and charter services have too been involuntarily placed in the line of fire, but it is unclear whether Flamingo Air will be allowed to resume operations at the end of the investigation, which could take months. Danielle Dean, Eyewitness News.
Well, gentlemen, you all heard if very quickly how people are feeling, and rightly so. I mean, it seems as though many are not entirely opposed, but they certainly want to see more rules, regulations, more enforcement.
Yeah, Shanique, I think the Aviation Authority has its hand full. If the traveling public of the Bahamian people are going to put any kind of trust or confidence in those smaller aircraft in the future, they've got to see that the aviation authorities are doing their work, holding these small aircraft
accountable. Man.
They've got to see personnel on the ground at that general aviation area and other areas that they fly from. And they've got to see something. People flying these smaller airline, when they get on them, they see all kind of little inefficiencies. They see all kind of little stuff, and so when they travel and they see that, but they've got to see the authorities dealing with these things. Until they see that, their confidence will forever be eroded.
That hasn't been happening.
I've had no confidence in them for some time, because I know of some of the things that take place. Anybody hop in a plane, or you could give your friend a plane and say, go take them people to Andros or Arco or wherever, and it's on the Aviation Authority to rebuild the confidence of the Bahamian public.
Yeah, and Shanique, that is what I find so curious, right? Because, you know, Bahamians en masse always talk about how we're so proud of Bahamas Air's safety record, right? And we know Bahamas Air's pilots are up to date and they're trained for the most part from what we know over the years. We have not seen any of those aircraft overweight and overloaded to where there's been a crash. And so, I mean, don't we have one civil aviation authority for everybody? So then why is there a discrepancy? Why are we so afraid to go to that general aviation terminal and get on one of them jitneys in the sky Leslie talking about, versus right across the apron, right across the way, there's Bahamas Air and Western Air and them, who have all of the regulatory oversight and compliance stuff that's done to a T. So then why just one Gulf cart ride down the way? Do we have something totally different going on? These are the questions that the Bahamian people, as citizens and voters, have to put to our government officials, and to not only demand answers, but demand that things be done differently.
Couldn't agree with you more. You know, the situation is very simple, you know. There's so much slackness that goes on at our small airports. It's a jitney service that they're running.
Yes.
Bahamas Air, just as you said, Bahamas Air and Western Air have wonderful planes. They got good pilots. They don't take chances with the lives of the average Bahamian person. And again, I say, it should be mandatory that the board that makes up the Civil Aviation Department fly on those planes. I'm dead serious.
Yes, sir.
That's what's going to reinforce the faith in the Bahamian people.
Yeah.
That is good to fly, or is safe to fly these small planes.
Yes, sir.
They should be on those planes every other day, flying on those planes. Of course, we ain't gonna see them, but they should do it.
And small planes can be safe once they're properly maintained, and the pilots are properly certified, and they go through the regular safety check.
Do it
when
properly,
people
man.
go on them, their manifest. There should be a proper check of the manifest before those planes take off to know what the weight is, the amount of persons, and everything.
Absolutely.
And what is so painful now, those families now got to wait another few months
2 months.
before they can bury. You know, I mean, how many people escaped the accident? None. Come on, man. That's 10 bodies there lying, 10 pieces of persons. Those people would like to get on with their lives. I just believe that some consideration should be given that those people can have the burial as soon as is possible.
I don't know. I have to
Because
take
we
2
know
months
that
to
no
do
one
DNA.
has escaped that plane crash. We know who
guess
the people are.
They're saying they want to get
With
the
the
right
greatest
body
respect.
parts,
With
but I
the
don't know
greatest respect.
why I'd have to take 2
With
months.
the greatest respect, you know. But, you know, they're in charge, so they do what the hell they want to do.
Well, gentlemen, certainly, of course, we await civil aviation and its official findings, and then that investigation, which is expected to really go on for about another year. Yeah, well, not the part that you're talking about, the actual overall investigation that also
Of the
involves
cause of the crash.
international, right, international input as well, and insight. But gentlemen, absolutely, we'll continue to be following that as well. But when we come back after this break, you all, we've been talking about dogs and stray dogs and the issues with that. Well, a 70-year-old man was recently attacked. We hear his story after the break.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Wealth should not only belong to a select few. At InvestStar, we believe the door should be open to everyone. We provide options for planning a better future. Our investment funds are designed to assist you in reaching your long-term financial goals. Let us show you how.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
70-year-old Jackie Thompson, a
Jesus.
resident of Ball's Alley, says he thought for sure he was near the end after he was attacked by 6 dogs walking home on Friday night. Thompson suffered serious injuries to his neck, arm, and leg.
I fell on the ground and covered my face. You know, 1, 2 down here, 1, 2 up top here. Okay. I tell you, whatever was happening right then, all I said, oh God.
Thompson alleges the dogs involved in the attack were pit bulls, and he says this was not his first encounter with the animal. But what saved his life this time around was a neighbor that intervened.
Make sure to snatch my truth. Then Kel come out, shoving on there. You see? I wasn't for her, and might eat me.
Thompson's sister says she was left speechless after learning about the attack, but grateful that someone came to his aid. But she said the attack on her brother's life pointed to a greater issue of pet owner responsibility.
Some point in time, they're gonna attack somebody. They normally attack their own owners. So what do you think they would do with someone else? And when I think about 5 attacking him, that could have been somebody's child out there. That child would have been dead. 5 dogs on one small, you see how small he is?
Thompson's attack marks the second reported incident involving elderly persons being mauled by dogs in recent weeks. The first incident involving a 66-year-old man who was attacked while walking through the Camp Road community, leaving him with several deep lacerations and serious injuries. Now, we spoke with the Director of Agriculture, Dr. Jason Sands, for the next course of action involving dog attacks.
The attack, if it happens where the dog has an identified owner, the matter is investigated by the police, and that person is dealt with in the courts. It's a criminal matter. If the dog is at large, that's illegal. The act requires all dogs to be detained.
Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Did the Humane Society take them off the street?
The Humane Society has, Leslie, Ellington, and Howard, had a number of spay and neuter programs, but people continue being irresponsible with their dogs.
Yeah.
Continue.
Shanique, go ahead, Howard.
Yeah, Shanique, it's so sad. And, when I first heard about this story earlier today, I thought it was like pot cakes, the pot cakes on the stray dogs that always...
These are decent dogs. Don't bring us in that.
Pit bulls, Shanique, pit bulls. Listen, I know plenty pot cake bites growing up in the Lucha Boy.
We don't do that.
I might as well tell you.
We don't do that.
What I'm saying, though, is, Shanique, we know where the populations of these animals, the stray animals or the loose animals are, right? We know that a lot of them are going to be around the inner city areas and areas where there's probably food, the garbage tins around the grocery stores and retail locations, places like that. Shanique, we need these mobile units in the Ministry of Agriculture or whatever government agency is responsible. We need them in conjunction with the Humane Society to get out there and deal with these dogs. Yes, it's great to prosecute the owners, but these dogs need to get put down, Shanique.
What is your... Oh, that's what I wanted to hear you say that. Ellington, your thoughts?
Shanique, let me first address this whole issue of stray dogs. When you go out by JFK on that wooded area, and you go out South Ocean and you see them dogs running and dashing across the street, those are stray dogs. Through these neighborhoods, these inner cities,
there ain't no stray dogs.
There ain't no stray dogs. Those dogs goes home in somebody's yard.
Yeah.
They just allowed to roam the streets and the neighborhood and wreak havoc on people, starting from turning your garbage over every night. Okay, I told you 2 weeks ago, Shanique, how I was personally attacked by 4 of them. Pot cakes, Leslie. Unfortunate you saying the pot cakes.
That's Leslie them. No, but Leslie them know how they are.
But Shanique, there are laws in this country to deal with owners of these animals who don't keep them either in a leash in their yard or have their yard fenced. And there are laws. Until we begin to deal with the laws and to deal with these people, some children are going to get mauled. Thank God, I'm saying thank God it happened, but the last 2 gentlemen only got mauled. somebody is going to lose their
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And that's when we
Violently.
can lash out and say, oh, we need to do something.
That's when
There are
everybody will
laws
get
on the
angry.
book.
Absolutely.
Let's
them.
enforce the laws.
Yeah.
Law
And
enforcement
put
and
down the
everybody
dogs.
else. Drive through these neighborhoods, see these dogs running across the street. Come on, when are we going to deal with this?
You know what is interesting? What Dave and I found out this election cycle a few weeks ago, which is the last election cycle, 70% of the yards in this country now has these half crazy dogs, these half pit bulls. I mean, just what every yard you go in, behemoths like pit bulls, and those dogs are so dangerous. And they are warned by the officials not to have pit bulls, and just put every yard have pit bulls, and most of them have 2 and 3 pit bulls, and they
they're
will tear
breeding
you
them.
apart.
They're breeding
breed
them to make money.
and they have inbreeding.
Yeah.
They're very dangerous.
$1,200 a pup.
Yeah.
Yes, very
And
dangerous.
see, Shanique, you got
I'm
to put
shocked.
down the dogs. See,
And
you're
then you talk to
prosecuting
them,
the owners, right?
they say they got a lot of
You-
break-ins, that's why they have them. They say
You
they
you're
prevent
prosecuting the
break-ins.
owners. That's one thing to prosecute the owners, but the owners ain't biting and mauling people. It's the dogs, so we got to
Yes.
deal with the dogs too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you got to take them away.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, but listen to this. An 18-year-old Jamaican woman was fined on Friday after admitting to striking her ex-boyfriend in the
Yeah, with a
head
damn
with a
hammer. I saw that this
during a
morning.
violent domestic dispute in which she claimed
She went
she
to
was
jail now.
acting in self-defense. Melissa Koch pleaded guilty to causing harm before Deputy Chief Magistrate Shaka Serville. Prosecutors alleged she injured Keno Roll during an altercation at their Quintine Alley residence on July 8th after an argument between the two escalated. Although admitting to the offense, Koch told the court that she acted in self-defense, alleging that Roll stabbed and assaulted her during the confrontation. In sentencing, Magistrate Serville acknowledged that Roll is also before the court in connection with the same incident and noted that Roll was significantly provoked during the ordeal. However, he said a penalty was necessary to deter similar acts of violence. Koch was fined $500 or in default will serve 3 months in prison. Once the fine is paid or the sentence is completed, she will be handed over to the Department of Immigration.
Oh, God, he can come to me again now.
You all, it is just wild that again, you know, you've got to learn to
know what I gotta go have.
leave it alone and walk away. What you say, Leslie?
Yes.
Leave it
These
alone.
guys,
End it.
Leslie.
End it.
I
End
just have
it.
to laugh, right? Because I have so many Bahamian young men who get hooked up with these Jamaicans, women. And all of them want them to stay here forever. I say, Chief, what's the problem with y'all in here? You know the guy, Debbie?
What?
There's bait you. there's cut your fingernails on your toenails.
It's a serious.
What is it? What?
Just cut your fingernails
Yes,
and your toes.
yes, yeah,
I
they-
want
they-
fine one, but I don't know if I want him to bathe me. I'm still looking for my lady from Ghana to bathe
No,
me.
that's what.
So I know
From
my-
Ghana.
You
Let
go
them
back in the
teachers-
hospital.
Let them teachers hear you. Let them teachers hear you. You know, Howard and Ellington Leslie say, listen, man, the Bahamian man like the Jamaican woman
You don't
treatment.
know that.
And-
That man's
and-
a kid for that,
but
man.
I'll tell you this, you know, in all seriousness, when it gets to that point
Yes,
where
just
words
walk.
are being exchanged, end it,
Coulda
end
killed
the
him with that damn
conversation,
mama, man.
and whatever it is, before you say or do something that will take it to another level.
Yeah, when an argument start to get heated,
Yeah.
and you see that I'm not seeing your point or you're not seeing my point, somebody have got to walk away. And sometimes, even if you initially walk away before it get too hot, later on you'll find that you all are able to reconcile. But if both of you stay there and you keep going after it, the temperatures are going to get high.
Yeah, somebody
Somebody
get
is
away.
going to say something harsh to the
Could
other
die.
one that they can't rebound from, and their next action is going to be violence. Walk away. It pays you to walk away. Now somebody is going to be sent away.
But you know, I also want to employ the Bahamian women to step to the plate, man.
Do what?
Do a little more for the fella. That fella go home from work. You're tired, like I
Listen
got
to
home
me.
this evening, right? I got to go shower myself.
And you ain't nobody cut your nails or nothing.
Leslie, stop talking foolishness, because I'll tell you this, gentlemen.
You don't want me-
When I hosted a show called The Conversation, a married Bahamian woman came to me and said, Shanique, I want you to do a show on why it is that Bahamian men say Jamaican women make them climb the walls. See, it's y'all who figure y'all and Tristan or whatever it is, that is.
Who y'all? I said I want a woman from damn Ghana. That's why I want
Oh,
baby.
that's what you did.
He made me good.
I can talk to the teachers union on you.
Well, I can't wait for them to come. I can be at the airport meeting them. Hello, I'm Miller.
Howard.
Yeah, Shanique, and I mean, you know, just the stuff that the litany of things that we read off. This is a long-standing issue with that couple. And when you get to that point where 3, 4, 5 times you going before the courts, that's crazy love. And y'all two, I mean, as much as y'all might have the sparks in the bedroom or whatever, y'all two ain't good together, and y'all need to go. But as far as this thing about the Jamaican woman, you know, and Bahamian men loving them, well, Jamaican begins with J, and so does jail. So if you can end up in jail, you ain't got the woman anyway, and somebody else can have her.
But I'll tell you one thing. The fellow who she hit the armor with, he ain't letting her go back to JA. I guarantee she's still here. I'll bet you that. Right, bet you $1,000. She in this town probably begging him tonight. Okay. I'm telling you, it's the truth. Them fellas love them, man.
No, so you all love the Jamaican woman.
I'm scared to let them baby because I may not go home no more.
You know what, Leslie, shut up. Leslie, stop. Okay, so listen, one of my viewers say, things that make you go,
Yeah,
and
that's what it is right now.
while we may be making a little light of it, the viewer says, where are the voices of the women's rights groups and all those people over the domestic violence against
They don't
a man?
bathe nobody, man. They don't bathe nobody.
There you go.
They don't bathe nobody. Them lazy woman. Tell them drop
No,
that.
but I believe it's a two-way thing between both
They
of
can
them.
bathe nobody, man.
And, it's male nor female. Both of them are wrong.
I
You
agree.
hear
No,
it
both
in the
are wrong.
report. It says that he stopped her.
They're just going to show more love to each other.
They should not be together.
Show more love.
No.
Both of
they
them
show
need
more
to go
love.
to anger management classes.
Know when
Show
to
more
walk
love to each
away.
other.
You've got to walk away from a verbal
That's too
spat
volatile.
before it
That's too
goes.
volatile.
Yeah,
Show
before
more
it
It's a
goes
toxic
further.
relationship, and they should not be together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't even let the verbal spat, as you said, Ellington, get out of
Exactly.
hand because you say things
show
that,
more love
that,
and
that
respect,
aren't.
you know.
Listen, tomorrow night we'll talk about how Dr. Hubert Minnis seems to be coming to the defense of Energy Minister Jobeth Colby Davis. She would perhaps welcome
Nobody got
that.
nothing to do with it.
We would welcome that. We are going to talk about that. But listen, I thank you all so much at the top of tonight's show. Thank you very much, Garvin Dawkins, G-Money, for being here, talking about this business license issue. And Hot Topics panel, Leslie Miller, Ellington Ferguson, Howard Johnson, thank you as well. You guys are always spot on and give good analysis and perspectives to many of the day's big stories. I look forward to seeing you.
Step to the plate.
Step to the plate and do what? You all step to the plate.
Do what you gotta do,
You all
man.
step to the plate.
Huh?
Okay?
We get out of paying my money.
Paying your money for what?